Hi Capricorn, Trishna here. Welcome to your March 2020 Love Tarot reading. In this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm still going to start off with the intuitive portion of the reading, and then I'm going to do the tarot portion of the reading. But I'm first going to be focusing on your energy, and then I'm going to focus on the energy of your partner, and then on the energy of your relationship together as a collective partnership. Now, keep that in mind as you listen to this video, because in all relationships, whether they're romantic or family relationships or friendship relationships or relationships with our colleagues, there's a lot of mirroring that goes on within those relationships between those two people. There's a lot of mixing and crisscrossing of energy. So in this video, I may be referring to your energy, but it actually resonates more with your partner's energy. I may refer to your partner's energy, but you may actually feel like it resonates more with your energy. So as you listen to this reading, keep in mind that energies can crisscross, and listen to this reading as it applies best to your particular and unique situation. So Capricorn, what I'm feeling for you from the intuitive portion and with regards to your energy is I feel like you are in a good place in your relationship. I feel like you are doing a lot in your life. You are being very productive. You're achieving everything that you're trying to achieve. All of your tasks are getting done, and also at the same time you're giving a lot to your partner emotionally. You're staying very emotionally connected. So I feel like right now you feel very productive. You feel very much on top of the world. I feel like you have a lot of plates that you're juggling, and you're juggling them all really well. And so I feel like you feel really good, Capricorn, about your relationship. You're doing a lot action-wise with regards to your relationship, also with regards to other areas of your life, but with regards to your relationship, and you're also doing a lot emotionally and engaging with your partner in your relationship. So you feel really good about your relationship because you feel very balanced, and that you're doing a lot of the mental action work, but that you're very emotionally in love and very connected to your partner at the same time. So that is absolutely wonderful, Capricorn. For your partner's energy, what I feel for them is I feel like they are a little bit confused, but also somewhat in awe and maybe a little bit dazzled by the way that you operate, because they're not very used to the way that you operate. So what I mean by that is you are very productive in your work life. For example, you have a to-do list and you check it off and you do it. And you seem to have those same kinds of qualities when it comes to your emotions and your romantic life, where you see certain needs that need to be filled, you see certain problems that need to be solved, you see certain actions that need to be achieved so that the two of you can move forward together or achieve certain visions or certain goals together. And you basically go down the list and you do what needs to be done. And so your partner is a little bit confused about how you operate, because you are taking a very objective or like task-oriented view that works in a job situation or works in another situation, but you're applying that to an emotional situation. You're very logical maybe about the relationship and how things need to be achieved, and they're not really used to that. Like you seem to have a system that works very well in your career, and you apply that same system to emotions, and that is what confuses them. But also they're somewhat in awe because you seem to have some kind of system that works. Like to them, it's like you're taking the fun out of emotions. You're putting logic where emotion needs to be. You're putting like rules where creativity needs to be. You're putting barriers or like guards up where emotional flow and like expression needs to be. So they're kind of confused by that, because they're like, how does your mind work? Like, this is kind of strange. But they're also in awe of it, because even though it's very systematic, you also seem to just achieve. You seem to still hit the mark in the emotional realm. Like, you still give them the feelings that they want to have. They still feel love. They still feel engaged. They still feel like you're present, but you do it so differently from how they do it. They're like your partner's very emotionally expressive, very connected to their emotions, and like kind of lets it spill all over the place, and you don't do that, Capricorn. So that is their energy. So what I'm feeling for your energy together is I feel like your relationship has what it needs or has what it takes to last, but I feel like your partner, their energy has a lot of fear in it. And I feel like they're not so sure that it's going to last. And that's not because they don't love you. That's not because they don't think that you're doing enough. They think that the relationship is absolutely amazing, but they have some very deep fears that stem from things that are external to your situation and that have more to do with them than they have to do at all with you and your relationship together. And so I feel like this is something that you could reassure them with. Maybe they've expressed some of their fears to you, maybe they haven't, but if they do, this is something that you could talk to them about, and it would be reassuring, but just know that whatever words you use to reassure them, it's only going to last so long. That reassurance, they're going to feel better in the moment. They're going to feel better for a few hours, maybe a day or something like that, but their fears are going to creep back in. And these fears are things like they believe that they might self-sabotage, they might sabotage the relationship because they don't always believe that they deserve what the two of you have. They're not used to having something so nice. Your relationship is like really, really nice, Capricorn. What you have together is beautiful, and it's something that they are not used to. They have not had a relationship like this before, and sometimes they think that it's too good for them. Like it's too nice of a relationship for what they deserve or what they're used to. And so they believe because it's something that's too good for them that they're going to somehow find a way to sabotage the situation. And that is what their fear is really centered around. And so you can reassure them and, with words, and that would work, but it would only work for maybe a few hours or a day or maybe a couple days. And then they would go back to those fears because, again, these are deep-seated fears that they don't deserve the amazing relationship that they have with you. And as a result, somehow they will subconsciously sabotage what they have because it's too good and they believe that it's going to leave, like it's going to go away. And so like I was saying, you can reassure them with words. I think that is very important that you should do that. Know that it's only going to last a few hours to a couple days at most. Know that you may have to reassure them more than once, but most importantly, know that this is something that will go away with time. As they start getting familiar with being in a relationship that's this good and being with you, and as time goes on and they realize like, well, if I wasn't supposed to have this, I would have left by now, they will start getting much calmer about this. Their fears will start to have less of a hold on them. They might still be there, but it will have less of a hold on them. So time is really what's going to work for the two of you together. And the other thing that is really important, Capricorn, for you and your partner and this relationship is that you really exercise and show trust. Trust, like that they're not going to mess this up. Because even if they mess it up, the two of you are just going to talk about it and work on it. Like that's just how it's always been between the two of you and how it's going to continue to be. So even if they mess up, you're always going to be able to work through it together. So no matter what they do, there's always going to be the two of you moving together with a resolution. That's just how it is. End of story. That's always how it's going to be. You know this, but their fears are not allowing them to trust in this and to remember this. So it's really important, Capricorn, that you exercise trust, that you show them that, I know that you're really worried, babe, but like, I know this isn't going to happen. I trust you. This is going to work out. It's always worked out before. And again, the reassurance part through the words is only going to go so far, but you continuously trusting them and them seeing you trust them is going to help them learn to trust themselves. And once they trust themselves, it's going to be amazing. Like your relationship is really good right now, Capricorn, but just wait. Once they trust themselves, your relationship is going to get even more amazing. It's going to skyrocket. It's going to reach whole new levels of happiness and trust and love and honesty and connection and building something together and like going through life together as true partners, as true best friends. So just work on, you already trust them. You don't have to work on that, but work on like letting them know consistently that you trust them, that their fears like aren't fears of yours at all. Like you just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, can we talk about something that's actually going to happen? Can we talk about something that's real? So just continue to show your trust, and eventually they will trust themselves, and your relationship is only going to get better, Capricorn. And that is saying a lot because it's already amazing. So Capricorn, that is what I'm feeling for you from the intuitive portion. I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards for you, and then we're going to do the tarot portion of this reading. Alright, Capricorn, so in this video I'm using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed, and the cards that I got for your energy are the Four of Earth and the Eight of Water. So what I feel with the Four of Earth, Capricorn, is I feel like this represents what you've been doing for the longest time ever, which is giving. You have given almost everything that you've had. You have given even when sometimes it didn't make sense. You have given even when you have been hurt by the person that you were giving to, and yet you still gave to them with a pure heart. And so you have just been giving so much all this time, Capricorn. You may not realize, but you are a giver. You may not even realize in your current relationship that you're actually giving a lot to your partner, that you're giving a lot to your colleagues, that you're giving a lot to your friends. To you, sometimes it just feels like something important that you need to do, that's just a requirement, and that doesn't really mean that much to other people. It's just something that needs to be done. It's just another thing on your to-do list. It just has to get done. But really, you are actually giving a lot to the people in your life, and it actually means a lot to them. So Capricorn, you're always giving, 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 and you're never even realizing how much you do for other people. Like, it never really registers. You never even think that way. You're never giving to someone to give. Like, you're never giving to someone so that they know that you're a giver. You just naturally do this all the time. And that's just a wonderful quality. And I feel like this ties into the Eight of Water, where the Eight of Water is saying that you have a lot in your life right now. You have a lot in a lot of areas. You have love. You may have wealth. You may have a wonderful career and getting recognition. You may have a wonderful family support system. And what this is trying to tell you is that you deserve all of that. All of that came because you gave even when it was hard. You gave even when it didn't make sense. You gave even when those you were giving to were continuously hurting, and you always gave with a pure heart. And because you gave, and gave through many years of darkness, many years of burdens, many years of challenges, you still gave, and because of that, that is why you reap the benefits now. You reap the rewards now. That is why you have everything you have. Everything you have is because you gave. Everything you have is because you deserve it. And I feel like this card is also trying to tell you that some of your darker days are behind you, some of your burdens are leaving you, and brighter days are on the horizon. There's good things, more good things coming to you. So you have a lot of really good things here, now, in the present. And there's even more wonderful good things to come. And you may already even know of some of it. Like, you may already know some of it's on the horizon, some of it may already be planned for the future. And yeah, this is just a really positive card for you, Capricorn. Positive reading is you're a giver, and all of that is why you have everything that you have right now, is because you gave when nobody else would have given. And you never did that expecting a reward. You never did that wanting a reward. But because you gave with such a pure heart, you have everything that you have right now. And that's why you have an abundance, is because you gave when nobody else would have given had they been in your position. For your partner's energy, we got the Messenger of Fire, and we got the Two of Air. The Two of Air kind of came out sideways, so I'm going to read it that way. So with the Messenger of Fire, I feel like this represents what we talked about in the intuitive portion for your partner when we're talking about the collective energy. I feel like they have some fears, they have some doubts about themselves and what they deserve, and they worry that they will lose you. They worry that they will lose you. I would say they worry that they will lose everything, but they really worry that they will lose you. They could lose everything, but they especially worry about losing you and about hurting you. And if somehow the two of you broke up, they would never blame you for the breakup. They would always think, the universe must have broken us up because I didn't deserve them. I was not good enough for them. Like, this was the universe taking care of this person that I love so much and separating us to take care of this person that I love so much. So, your partner is so sweet, Capricorn. And, they're sad. They're sad. Not all the time, but when they think about losing you, it really, really makes them sad. And I feel like that kind of goes into the Two of Air card, where they are sad, but I feel like if you really help them learn to trust themselves, if you really show them how much you trust them, that it will help them trust themselves. It will help them kind of move away from this loneliness feeling, or feeling like they may deserve to be alone or something like that, and they will be able to slowly pull themselves out of it. For your joint energy, we got the Two of Water and we got the Seven of Fire. So the Two of Water, first of all, is a really good card for relationships. It is the Two of Cups in the traditional tarot, which cups usually represents emotions, and it often represents love and relationships. So two is like a partnership within the love and romantic spectrum. So it's a really good card for love readings. I feel like for you, Capricorn, what it means is that your partner and you aren't seeing eye to eye on something. And normally, when you hear that, you would think, oh, that's a conflict. Ooh, this is bad. ooh, like maybe we're not a match, maybe we're not seeing eye to eye on the relationship itself. But I don't think any of that applies to you. What I feel the two of you aren't seeing eye to eye on is your partner's fears. Like your partner has these fears and they believe that these fears are real and that they are very likely to sabotage something really wonderful in their life because they don't feel like they deserve it. You don't feel that way at all. You're just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, can we talk about something real? Like, you two don't see eye to eye on their fears being a reality. And I think that that is actually okay. Just follow the advice that we talked about in the intuitive portion, which is make sure that you reassure them whenever you can, but know that will only go so far. That you mostly, like, very importantly, show them how much you trust them so that they eventually learn to trust themselves, and that you also leverage time and know that as time goes on, they will start to feel more comfortable. They will start to see that, hey, like we've been together this long, why would this leave me now? Like if I've had this amazing person in my life for this long, then I must deserve them because the universe would have taken them away from me by now if I didn't deserve them. So time is on your side, and use words of reassurance because it will help them, but it will only go so far. And make sure very much that you always consistently show them that you trust them completely, because eventually that will help them trust themselves. With the Seven of Fire, I feel like that is trying to tell you that they really need you. Your partner really needs you to take the lead on this and helping them see the relationship through your eyes and learning to trust themselves, because how you see the relationship is how it is actually going to be. They're not going to sabotage their relationship with you. It's just not going to happen. Like, that's just, even if they did, like I was saying before, you two would work through it. Like, they would never do anything bad enough that the two of you couldn't work out. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. So anyways, they can't see that, so they really, really need you to take the lead on helping them start to see that for themselves, and that comes through helping them trust themselves by them continuously, constantly, day in, day out, without hesitation, always seeing you trust them, always feeling complete trust from you towards them. So Capricorn, I hope your partner starts to feel better about this. I really feel for them. They are a really wonderful partner, and I really hope that they learn to trust themselves so that they can really be happy, and stop being alone or being worried that they're going to be alone or that you're going to be taken away from them somehow. So they are a wonderful soul. I'm glad that you are together. I'm glad that they have you, because I think that you help them more than you can ever know. Yeah. You help them more than you... No. You help them more than you can ever know. Not more than they can ever know. You help them more than you can ever know. And that kind of goes back to the Two of Air, where they feel lonely, but they're working through it. And a lot of their ability to work through it is because of you, because you help them more than you can ever know. And I think that really ties into what we talked about at the very beginning with your energy, with the Four of Earth, where you are just this giver, always giving, thinking that all you're doing is what needs to be done and it's nothing special, but it truly is special to those who are receiving from you. And you will never know how much you have done for others, especially your partner. So Capricorn, this concludes the YouTube portion of this video, of this reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. As you know, I do extended readings as well. If you're interested in that, you can access it. You can access it at my Patreon page, which is the link at the end of this video. And it's also the same link in the description box. It's www.patreon.com/Trishna. What we do in those readings is we pull more cards. So I'll pull more cards for your energy, more cards for your partner's energy, and more cards for your collective energy, so you can get more information on the situation and also more guidance that you may need to hear so that you and your partner can have a wonderful relationship going forward, and that you can both operate from your highest level of happiness possible within the relationship. So if you're interested in that, I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.